Welcome again. I'm Nick Mathern. I'm Cub Master for Pack 334. Here in Raceland, we serve youth in the Central Lafourche area through scouting. So the purpose of tonight is to just kind of familiarize you guys with scouting who maybe don't have that much exposure to it. I know we have some of our existing parents on too, so some of this will be a refresher. Some of this will be talking about our upcoming year, and we're going to be talking about our costs for scouting and also our fundraising opportunities for this year. And hopefully be able to answer some questions as some things are a little bit different this year than last year in terms of especially costs and fundraising. So first question is, what is Cub Scouting? Cub Scouting obviously is where our kids get to go camping and hiking. They get to visit police and fire stations, play games, go fishing. They get to march in parades, build and race model cars in the Pinewood Derby. They get to build and race boats and rockets. They get to shoot BB guns and bows and arrows, and they get to make friends. And that is what scouting is all about right there in a nutshell. At least that's the part that our kids see. So for us as parents, what is Cub Scouting really? What do our kids get out of it that they don't even realize? It is a year-round program. We go all year long, not just through the school year, but we offer opportunities to continue scouting throughout the summer. It is a family-friendly program, and I cannot stress that enough. Cub Scouting is for boys and girls now. For decades, Cub Scouting was only open to boys, the formalized program. Just a couple of years ago, the Boy Scouts of America organization opened up the Cub Scouting program to girls. And so it's really exciting that we now have that opportunity to offer that to young girls, not just young boys. They learn about citizenship. What does it mean to be part of a community? What does it mean to be part of this country and our responsibilities of living in our region, our state, our country? We develop a duty to God throughout the Cub Scouting program. We don't push any particular religion. We are chartered to St. Hilary Catholic Church in Raceland, and we'll talk about what that means in a little while. But it's not open to just Catholics just because we happen to meet here. St. Hilary just offers us the space to be able to meet. That's our relationship with them. You don't have to be Catholic to be involved in our Cub Scouting pack. We're not going to push anybody to any certain religion. Christianity or otherwise, but there is a sense of duty to God in whatever form that takes for your family, and your scout gets to learn and understand what that means more as they go along. And of course, not just friends, but meaningful friendships. All these kids are working together for common goals and common activities, and so the friendships that they develop throughout this program are really sincere and involve kids of similar values. And so it's really great to see all these kids progress and grow. It also gives our kids a chance to practice public speaking. And so in scouting, our kids have the opportunity to be able to get in front of small groups of their own age kids, as well as getting up in front of the entire pack, all the kids from kindergarten to 5th grade, plus parents, brothers and sisters. They get to perform skits. They get to lead everyone in the Pledge of Allegiance, the Scout Law and Oath, which you'll learn all about. And so there are plenty of opportunities for our kids who may be a little more reserved to be able to kind of get that out of their system, which really just sets people up for success later in life. We work on teamwork and life skills, and again, a lot of character building activities in the scouting program, and ultimately developing our future leaders. But most importantly, it is our kids being kids and having fun. Our pack structure, I've been throwing out some words like packs and dens, and so what does all that mean? Boy Scouts of America is the large umbrella organization that has all these different programs in what we used to know as the Boy Scouts. Now it's Scouts BSA, Cub Scouting, like I mentioned, venturing, Sea Scouting, exploring. So all of those different programs fall under this umbrella of the Boy Scouts of America. So our pack, which is our local group of kids and parents, it is run by what we call our PAC committee. our PAC committee chair, and it was on the call, Mr. Charles Williams. And my role as the club master is more or less kind of a ringmaster when it comes to PAC meetings, kind of running the meeting, making sure all the kids are where they need to be and doing what they're supposed to be doing at different times in the meeting, being a resource for all of our den leaders, for our PAC committee. But then our den leaders are our main contact between our scouts and the program. Each of our grade level groups that you can see in front of you are what we call a den. So our lions are our kindergartners, tigers are our first graders, our second graders are our wolves, third grade bears, fourth grade, that word is webelos. It stands for We'll Be Loyal Scouts. And then our fifth graders are our Arrow of Light group, and that's the highest honor that our Cub Scouts can get working through that fifth grade program. So our den leaders are adults, sometimes parents, sometimes not. And they are the ones that meet with our dens once, maybe twice a month to work on their adventures that help them earn their rank badges. And the images that you see in front of you, these graphics of the animals and the webelos and the Arrow of Light, this is what our kids are working to earn every year. After they complete 7 adventures, they are eligible to receive these rank badges to put on their uniforms. And so it's a really cool thing for them to be able to see the fruits of their labors, to see that when they work for something and they can get rewarded, they can feel proud of themselves. And it's just a really cool experience to walk with these kids through it. So what do we actually do? What do our adventures look like in a typical month or throughout the year? The main thing where our scouts are going to be learning the most and getting the most out of this program is through what we call our den meetings. Again, that's the age-specific groups that meet once or twice a month to work on those adventures. And then once a month, we meet together as a pack, which is our complete collection of dens. We meet here at St. Hilary. I'm saying here because I've commandeered one of the classrooms for recording tonight. And we meet to play games, sing songs, be active, have fun, learn something. Sometimes we'll have special guests. We'll have first responders that will come out. We'll see in a minute some of the things that we were able to really shine for our kids this year in our community. And of course, at our PAC meeting is where our scouts receive the awards for all the hard work that they've done that month leading up to it in their den meetings, whether that was an adventure that they went on or some larger outing that we had with the PAC that may have been an opportunity for the kids to earn an additional reward, or even things that you would have elected to do as a family at home, which you always have that opportunity to do extra stuff at home and have your kids earn more rewards, or awards rather. And then our monthly outings, which we'll talk about in a minute, but a little more in depth about what that's going to look like this year. But typically, in addition to our once a month den meetings, once a month PAC meetings, we also have monthly outings where, again, it's our whole families that are invited to go, whether it be to a museum or on a PAC hike or on a camp out. And so we'll talk about some of those opportunities that we're going to have a little bit later in the presentation. But again, the entire family is invited to every single one of these events. So this past year, a couple things we did. You see, we went hiking. We bottom left corner, we visited some veterans the day before Thanksgiving at the home of VA, and that was actually a really cool opportunity where our scouts just kind of got to meet with a group of veterans who were there for a kind of a support meeting, and we got to listen to some of their old stories. The kids were absolutely engaged and in awe of these guys and what they were able to say. So that was really cool to see how much our kids enjoyed listening to these guys, and we made them a little thank you card. Bottom right-hand corner, this was one of our district events at the Cubbery, where each pack got to play games and earn points and compete with other packs. And this was one of the team building games that the pack had to work together to get a ball through a series of PVC pipes into a box, way more difficult than it sounds. And then at the top right, this was one of the coolest opportunities we had this year, where we learned all about our first responders, and we had sheriff's deputies, we had Acadian ambulance, we had a fire truck at our pack meeting, and the kids got to climb in and out of all the vehicles, wear some of the bulletproof vests. But of course, the highlight was this picture where the Acadian AirMed helicopter landed in the field next to our meeting place, and the kids got to sit in the helicopter, and they were all just blown away. So that was a lot of fun. We also had our first annual fishing derby, which was a humongous success, a lot of fun for our kids. The Sparse Restaurant in the Zalmans allowed us to go on their property behind the restaurant and fish in their back canal. So that was a really cool chance for some of these kids who don't often get to get outdoors, or maybe don't have families that fish a lot. And for some of our families that do fish, for them to show off their skills. And then we also got to go to the Regional Military Museum, which in Houma on Barrow Street. Our kids got to climb on jeeps and play with cannons, not live or loaded, but they get to pretend. So that was a lot of fun. Not that I played with cannons either. Right, Miss Jenny, you didn't play with any cannons either. No. I see you laughing at me. But we had our own pack camp out right here on the grounds of St. Hilary, where we played some team building activities and then camps for the night. And then we also participated in the Night Out Against Crime with the Lafourche Parish Sheriff's Office. This coming year, we have already planned our pack meetings for the fall. We typically try to plan the entire year in advance. This year, as you guys can probably understand, things are a little different. Everybody's a little different this year. School, even going to the grocery store looks different. So we have planned out the fall semester for scouting. So on August 30th is really going to be the first opportunity for our pack as a whole to meet. We are going to have our Blast Off with Scouting pack meeting. Our kids are going to be designing 2-liter bottles, decorating 2-liter bottles to turn into rockets. We're going to fill them with water and then pressurize them with air, and the kids are going to get to launch them and watch them fly. So that should be a lot of fun. And then on September 27th, it's our Proud to Be an American theme pack meeting. We're going to be talking about what it means to be part of our country and getting back to that citizenship part of scouting that we talked about earlier. Then the election's coming up, and so we'll be able to hit on different things about that. And then in October we'll have a Halloween theme party for our pack, and then November 15th, getting up to Thanksgiving, it'll be all about gratitude and being thankful for what we have. And then December 6th will be our Christmas party. Now, things again are very different this fall with COVID-19 happening. So all of our meetings as of now will be held at St. Hilary, but we are going to be keeping everybody up to speed as things progress and change, because once we get into phase 3 of reopening in the state of Louisiana, we'll be allowed to have some more freedom in terms of what we can do, where we can meet. But for now, all of our meetings will likely be outside at St. Hilary, either in the parking lot or in the big grass area between what we call the multi-purpose building and the church building. This year's adventures, these are our monthly outings that we're looking into for our scouts this year. The Night Out Against Crime is scheduled for October 6th, so we're looking forward to participating with the Sheriff's Office, the Town of Lockport Police Department, and the fire departments in that area. Then we are looking at visiting and possibly, depending on how things go with phased reopening, camping overnight on the USS Kidd in Baton Rouge, the battleship near the state capitol building there. We're looking at visiting the Stennis Space Center, the Infinity Science Center at Stennis Space Center in Mississippi, exit 1 on I-10 when you're heading that way. Then, of course, the Military Museum over in Houma. The Coverie is a district event that I mentioned a little earlier, where our pack competed against other packs. We may or may not be able to host that. We are not allowed to do any overnight camping of any kind until phase 3 happens, that Governor Edwards calls for that change. So as soon as that phase 3 hits the streets, we'll be able to start planning some overnight activities for our scouting family. But then, of course, the D-Day Museum and some opportunities to get outdoors and go hiking. Now, in all this, we're talking a good bit about safety, and there are multiple levels of safety, especially in scouting. Anytime you're dealing with young people, there's always that extra caution that we want to take to protect our kids. And so for your confidence as a parent in this program, all of our leaders are trained, not just in their positions and how to be an effective den leader or committee member or cub master or whatever the position is, but also in youth protection. And not only our leaders are fully trained in youth protection and proper ways of interacting with scouts and ways of making sure that there's not even a question that our scouts are completely safe throughout this whole process, but our scouts also go through youth protection, learning how to protect themselves and make sure that they don't find themselves in an uncomfortable position, especially with scouting, but at any point in their lives. And that's every grade level has a youth protection component specifically geared to that age group to help them understand how to protect themselves in different situations. Again, not just with scouting, but at school, with family, with friends, with strangers, everything. There is no one-on-one interaction between adult and youth at any point in scouting. There will never be a time where any of our children will be alone with any one adult. When we go in campouts, there's no, go and take a private hike with anybody. Everything is done in groups. Everything, and we always hear from when we're kids, safety in numbers, and that's a general practice that we look at in scouting. We are doing this all as a group, and this is all about our kids having fun, being safe, and growing, and we make sure to foster that environment of safety for our kids throughout this. And even between kids, we have a zero tolerance policy for any kind of hazing or bullying. We have never really had a problem with this as long as I've been involved in Cub Scouts. Kids are kids sometimes, but persistent bullying or teasing or making other kids feel unwelcome or uncomfortable has no place in our organization. And we make sure that our kids are here all enjoying it. Further talking about safety and COVID-19 right now, we are following our governor's phased reopening as well as the guidelines that we get from the National Boy Scouts of America office. We will be encouraging, if not requiring in some situations, that masks will be worn. We will be practicing social distancing. So we're going to have hand sanitizer. We're going to be doing a lot of outdoor meetings where we're going to be spaced out a good bit. And we're going to ask our families, again, to scout from home if anyone in your family has a fever over 100.4 degrees in the last 2 days, and excessive cough, shortness of breath, difficulty breathing, typical stuff that we have all heard, chills, muscle pain, headache, sore throat, and recent loss of taste or smell. So that'll likely change and progress as we work through the year and the phases change. But for now, this is what our guidance is to make sure that all of our scouting family is safe and everyone feels welcome and as comfortable as possible. Now, what do we wear? Everybody has seen the Cub Scout uniform. Everybody knows what the kids look like in their adorable little uniforms. And so what do we do here in PAC 334 when it comes to uniforms? In general, the purpose of the uniform, it gives our kids a sense of pride. It identifies them with the scouting program. You look at a kid in a scouting uniform, right away you know exactly who they are, what they stand for, what they belong to. And it gives our kids that sense of belonging to a bigger group, a bigger organization, whether that's their den of the same age or the pack. And our kids should wear their uniforms to their den meetings, to pack meetings, and to special pack activities, unless we say otherwise. Sometimes we know that we're going to be a lot more active for some kind of activity or meeting, and so we'll give our families the heads up ahead of time, whether that's a den meeting, that we're going on a hike, and we'd rather not necessarily mess up our uniforms or lose our neckerchief slides, whatever the case would be. So we'll give you guidance along the way as to whether or not an upcoming activity is something that your scouts should be wearing their uniform for or not. So what are the parts of the Cub Scout uniform? Obviously, there's the shirt, then there's the belt. The belt is where our scouts actually track their advancement to that next rank. They receive little metal loops that show what adventure they've recently gone on as that grade level scout. And then the scout neckerchief and the slide, the little metal piece that holds the neckerchief tightly around the neck. The rank hat, every level, tiger, wolf, bear, weeblo, has their own hat of their colors with their rank emblem on it that they can wear. Of course, you can buy scout shorts or pants. There are socks and a scout handbook. Now, in our pack, the only quote unquote required parts of the uniform, especially right now, we know that times are tough for the economy for a lot of our people. The only things that we really ask are that your scout would have a uniform shirt and a uniform belt. And again, that's because those are the main two places where our scouts track their progress in the scouting program, by the badges that go on their uniform, by the loops that go on their belt. If you are purchasing your, as far as shorts go or uniform pants, we invite our scouts to wear jeans, especially in the colder months. So you may want to have some shorts for the warmer months, jeans in the wintertime. If you purchase the scout shirt, patches, and belt all together, that'll run you about $50 at the scout shop. The good thing about it is that if you get a shirt that's maybe slightly big for your scout this year, they can wear it multiple years as they move up and track their advancement. And the belts are highly adjustable also. If you want to purchase all uniform items, the shirt, belt, neckerchief, slide, hat, shorts or pants, socks, and the handbook, all those items together will run you about $130. Don't get sticker shock just yet, because we are going to be talking about some really great fundraising opportunities for our families. But you can order these parts of uniform online at scoutshop.org. But the thing that we recommend to most families is that go in person, go try on the shirt, make sure you're getting a good fit at the Southeast Louisiana Scout Shop. This is where our council offices are located in Metairie, and it's located at the address here. You can just Google on maps, New Orleans Scout Shop, Louisiana Scout Shop, and you'll find it in Metairie, again, just south of I-10. We also have a pack t-shirt. We just started providing this to our scouts last year, and this is generally what we encourage our scouts to wear for those times when we say, all right, we're not going to be wearing our uniforms. It's an opportunity where it's a cool time to wear the pack t-shirt. It has a pack logo on it that we developed with our pack number 334, Race in Louisiana, and the Cub Scout motto, do your best. We include one t-shirt for each scout when you sign up. For adults and siblings, if you'd like to order a shirt so that you can have a matching shirt to be part of our whole pack family, those are $10 each, and those are available to order at any pack meeting. Just let us know, and we can have those to you. Actually turn around pretty quick. We get them printed locally here with a printer who operates out of Gaines. So it's a local business that we support. And so every year after that your scout continues in scouting, because as I know I saw this summer, our kids grow like mutant weeds for some reason through the summer. And so they won't fit their scout shirts after a year or two. So anytime your scout who's registered as part of the program needs a new t-shirt because they've outgrown theirs, just let us know and we'll get a larger size order. So we're talking a lot about scouting costs. So what does it cost? Let's lay it all out. So BSA registration, if you're going to register your scout tonight, to register with a national organization for Cub Scouts, it'll cost you $62 per scout. That includes a national council fee. That includes a local Southeast Louisiana council fee. It includes a new scout registration fee. and then it also includes insurance. Our PAC program on the local level, based on the budget that we've put together of putting on all of our PAC meetings, our campouts, purchasing our awards for our scouts, purchasing the T-shirts for all the scouts. Our budget comes out to about $200 per scout that each of our scouts is responsible for, not necessarily have to pay for, which we'll talk about in a second also. Campouts can run, depending on the size of your family, how many people attend, $50 to $100. Our monthly outings can have a cost. Again, the full uniform, $130 to $140. So the total cost can get up there, but we do our best to make sure that your cost, your family's cost for scouting is as free as possible. And we have a fantastic group of parents that have been working really hard this summer to come up with new and much easier and faster ways to make sure that our scouts can help raise the funds for their own scouting adventures. Because we really do not want to ask any family to have to fork out $200 per scout per year. So we are trying to do what we can to give you those opportunities to offset those costs as much as possible. Like I mentioned earlier, Girl Scouts sell cookies. We don't sell cookies. That's not our thing. You may have seen the Cub Scouts outside of Walmart or Lowe's, in Thibodeau or Houma, selling popcorn in the fall. That's our main largest fundraiser of the Cub Scouting program, is the Camp Masters popcorn sale, which has just kicked off. And when you register, when you come to our first den meeting or PAC meeting, you'll be given an order form that you can then start your fundraising journey for the Camp Masters program. But we have also had some ridiculous success this summer with a new opportunity for our PAC earning funds through selling fresh kettle corn that we pop and Country Meats brand meat sticks. We've been going out to the Lafourche Central Market under Highway 90, the farmers market, right there on LA1, once a month this summer. And we've been averaging about $400 per sale that we've been raising for our PAC. And what's great about that is that our kids that work, our scouts that they come to help out, they're not just sitting around, they're not just running around playing, but they have been helping to bag up corn. They get out there in front and hustle some popcorn. They walk around with trays of popcorn and in their cute little uniforms. And man, the reaction and the response from the community has been fantastic. And so the scouts that come to help out with those kettle corn sales can very quickly raise the funds to offset that $200. We actually have 2 scouts that through the kettle corn sales that we've done just this summer, they've already paid for their entire program year, just with four kettle corn sales, and they've already completely covered their responsibilities. So it is very easy to get to the point where you're not going to have to pay a penny out of pocket to continue your scouting journey. We also have some opportunities where some families or individuals have offered to cover the costs. If that $62 is a little steep right now, look, a lot of people are still out of work because things have not opened up. We're going to have plenty of opportunities. Our chartered organization this year has offered that if we really have some families that legitimately can't cover this cost, they will help us to find the means to make it happen. Please, in big bold letters at the bottom of the slide, please do not let money be the reason that your family misses out on scouting. This program, I cannot say enough amazing things about this program and what it's done for my family and my individual kids. And so we want to make sure that every family has the opportunity. Every kid that wants to be in this program has the opportunity, that we would make this happen, forgetting about all the money. Let us know. Let one of our committee members know. Let me know. Send us a message on Facebook that we can respond to privately, or email pack334race@gmail.com. We will help you to make it happen. So speaking of getting in touch with us, how do we communicate? How are you going to know what meetings are coming up, what events are coming up, whether your child should be wearing their uniform or a PAC t-shirt or just whatever they feel like wearing that day? We have our main form of communication through our Facebook page, and that's facebook.com/pack334 Raceland. All of our events are going to be posted on there. We're going to send reminders. And so anytime you want to see what's coming up, what pictures from previous events, you can always find information on our Facebook page. We'll also be, once you're part of our PAC family, we'll walk you through how to work a resource called Scout Book. It's a web-based application that you can set up as what we call a soft app on your phone, but it's all internet-based where there's a calendar there. We can send messages through there. You can track your Scouts advancement. That's how we print our advancement reports to the scouting, to the council in New Orleans, how we keep track of what awards we need to buy. It's a really cool resource. So those are going to be our main two options. On the den level, again, that's the grade level groups that meet once or twice a month. We're going to leave that up to each den, what's going to be the best thing for parents. Some of you guys already may have the Remind app from school or Group Me from school. So if all you guys already have one of those systems in place, it might just be easier for you guys to just create a new classroom for your den on that app that you can all stay in touch. But we're going to leave that up to each individual den to figure out based on the number of kids that you have in your group and the individual families in there, what's going to be the best option for you guys. So again, our Facebook page is going to be the easiest way to find information for events, photos, links to other council districts and other PAC events, and different announcements that happen throughout the year. So how can I be involved? There are plenty of opportunities. Thankfully, our amazing group of parents has stepped up, and we have den leaders for every age group this year. But we do have the opportunity, if you'd love to be on that smaller group scale for an assistant den leader position, that helps our den leaders plan the activities, get all the materials together for the games and any kind of projects that our scouts have to do for their adventures, to help take attendance or whatever the case would be, to make sure those den meetings run smoothly. We'd love to have some assistant den leaders join up in our group. We also have, as I mentioned, our PAC committee that Charles Williams on the call right now is our committee chair. And we have a social media person. We have someone who takes care of our advancement, making sure that all the awards are in place. We have a person who takes care of ordering popcorn, making sure that everyone's orders are correct. So there are so many little things that can be done. And our parents this year have really done an amazing job showing exactly how that can happen, where if everybody does a little bit, then nobody has to do a lot. Nobody's going to be pulling their hair out up at 2 in the morning trying to make anything happen for the next day. And we have a fantastic group of parents that we'd love for you guys to join up with and get involved in and help out to lighten everybody's load and to make sure that you're having as much fun as a parent as you can in scouting, because this is a lot of fun, not just for our kids, for all of us. We love it. So what's going to be next? The next that we're going to be doing is we can register online when you're ready to start your journey. Register online at beascout.org. And we'll walk through in a second how to do that. Then on August 30th, we'll have our Blast Off with Scouting PAC meeting right here at St. Hilary. Again, we're going to be meeting out, parking in the parking lot. We're going to be launching our rockets in the large grass area on August 30th at 3 p.m. And then we start our scouting adventure. So it's really that simple. After this meeting tonight, we invite our new families to go onto beascout.org, and you'll find yourself on this page that you see in front of you. Just go ahead and enter your zip code and select Cub Scouts. And again, all this is going to be on Facebook. The video of this presentation is going to be on Facebook after, if you need to come back and reference something again. But then you click Find and Apply, and it'll pop up information for our PAC. Now, you'll see PAC 334. The only thing I'd point out is that when you pull it up right now, it's still going to say St. Mary's Nativity Church, because that's where we were chartered to for years. But just this past January, we moved over to St. Hilary, and we just happened to notice this week that National hadn't fix this on BSCOut.org. So our local council is working on this. They started working on it, I think, Wednesday. So hopefully sometime this week this will be updated to show that we belong to St. Hilary Church in Raceland. But the address and the phone number, all the contact information, everything else is correct, just the name. You'll click apply now, and that'll redirect you to my.scouting.org. And it'll give you a pop-up box. Please log in or create an account to proceed. So you'll click OK, and you'll create an account. And then it'll walk you through step by step on what to do and how to register your scout for their scouting year. Again, you're going to see a few different charges when you get to your cart if you go this route. It'll total $58. You may remember me mentioning earlier that scouting, when you register right now, is going to be $62 per scout. Matt Miller, who I'm not sure if Matt's still on the line or not, but Matt is one of our resources at the council office, and he is working with the national organization to see where that glitch was that left off the insurance, the cost of the insurance for each individual scout, the liability insurance. So that'll be $4 that we'll be able to collect at either our first DIN meeting or our first PAC meeting that we return. And other than that, so tonight when you check out signing up a new scout, the cost will be $58. Just remember that we still have that $4. Other than that, that's the last bit of what you got to do before signing on up. And we'll see you on the scouting trail. So if anybody has any questions, I will.
Yeah. We do the same thing for our old scouts to apply on the same site for Be a Scout, or is that just for the new ones?
That's just for the new ones. If you are an existing scout, you have to do nothing. You just show up on the 30th and you're good to go. We recharter our organization and our scouts every January, and that's good for the entire calendar year. So any of our scouts who are returning, you don't have to do anything extra. You are already registered and good to start your adventure. Great question, though. While I'm thinking about it, I did want to point out, in the past, we've had our popcorn sale goals for our scouts at $250 of popcorn that we were asking each of our scouts to sell. Now, with the popcorn sale, our PAC receives this year 46% of whatever we sell. So if the cost of every scout is $200, selling $200 of popcorn only gives us 46% of that. So we still have a giant gap between the money we're actually receiving and the money it costs to provide the Cub Scouting program to our scouts every year. So this year, if the only thing you do for fundraising is sell Camp Masters popcorn, that goal is up to $450 because 46% of $450 ends up being about $207. So, but that's if the only thing that you do to participate in fundraising is selling Camp Masters popcorn. For our kettle corn sales, that works a little differently because we get a lot of donations for our kettle corn. We do all the work ourselves. And so all the money that we raise for kettle corn that day, we just did it yesterday, we just subtract off any materials we had to buy for that pop, and then we divide the credits for the funds that were raised between all the scouts that participated, depending on how many hours they were there helping out, how many scouts were there, and how much money. So we plug that into a spreadsheet. It does all the math for us, and it figures out how much your scout was credited with for that day's fundraiser. So again, if you only are doing kettle corn sales, then some of our scouts only came to we've only had 4 kettle corn sales so far. They came to all 4, they're done for the year. Now, what we will be offering this year is an opportunity for what we call scout accounts. Now, if let's say you hit your fundraising goal, let's say like 2 of our scouts have already hit their fundraising goal. Any money that your scout is responsible for raising for the pack beyond that $200 responsibility, those funds that are raised are split 50-50 with the pack and your scout's scout account. Now, let me be clear. We are not, because we can't by federal tax law, we are not signing any checks to families for anything. This is a way for your scout to fund their adventure where, let's say you've got a camp out coming up and it's going to cost $50 for your family to register. Well, if you helped, if you raised $300 through fundraising, you've already met your $200 responsibility. You now have an extra $100 that you have to raise. So $50 of that is going into the PAC general fund to help fund more and bigger materials and programs for our local PAC here in Raceland. And the other $50 of that is available for your family to use for scouting related activities. That can be, like I said, a camp out. If it's going to cost $50 for your family to go on a camp out, you've raised $100. That $50 that's credited to your account, the PAC will pay for your family's registration. If your son or daughter needs a uniform shirt, whether they've outgrown their old one or whether times are tough, it's COVID, everybody's struggling a little bit right now, and maybe $50 is a little steep right now for a shirt and a belt. But you come out and you help raise more funds for the PAC. The PAC can purchase a uniform shirt or a belt or a hat or any other part of the uniform that your scout may be needing or wanting. If you would like to buy a PAC t-shirt for yourself or a sibling, and your scout has $10 more in their account, we can place an order for a shirt there. So again, we are trying to find ways to be creative and help out our families as much as we can, especially right now, to make sure that money is not going to be a reason that any of our families miss out on scouting. So if it's that you guys come and just help to raise a little more funds for our PAC, we'll return the favor and help you guys out in this time that everybody is needing a little bit more assistance. So. Any other questions? If you guys do have any more questions, again, email us, pack334raceland@gmail.com, or you can send us a message on Facebook. You can find me on Facebook. You can message me privately. But other than that, again, if you're looking to register tonight, that is beascout.org, beascout.org. Well, thank you guys again. We're going to post this video on our Facebook page. So if you need to go back and reference something, feel free to pull that up and go find any information there. And feel free to share it with friends or coworkers or anybody you know that has a son or a daughter in kindergarten through 5th grade. And they can go ahead and sign up on their own. They can join us on August 30th if they want to come and see in person what scouting's all about. We'll have applications there for anybody who has not had the opportunity to go online and sign up. And other than that, we are going to have an awesome year. So thank you guys so much, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.